woman,
mufumakazi,
wansadi,
musadi,
umfazi,
vrouw.
mulher.
That is who we are. That is our strength. We are remarkable, brave, capable, unique. We are woman to woman.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon, Africa. Today, our program will be very exciting because we are going to try to bridge and to reach out to differences. But before I say more, I would like to welcome our guests, starting by my co-host. Good afternoon to you, my husband.
Hello, darling. Hello, everybody.
Then we have PJ and Tali helping us because June is the month of the youth in South Africa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Marcia, Bishop, and everyone.
Afternoon, Bishop, Ms. Marcia, and everyone. I am looking forward to today's program.
Me too. That's the problem. Now I have this beautiful team here, and they have a meaning why we have from different ages. So let me start introducing you, Trida and Nina, and they are Gen X. Then I have Portia and Tiamu, who are Gen Z. Then I have these two cutie people here, Vivi and Miguel, back to the show, Gen Alphas. And I didn't tell you that Tali and PJ are millennials, and my husband and I, though we are Generation X, today we are going to jump a little bit forward and be baby boomers because, as a matter of fact, being raised by our grandparents made us to mature very fast. So when I look at Gen X, I see that some of my behaviors actually fall more into the baby boomers because the way that we grew up, isn't that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's going to be a very interesting program, and I think the objective at the end of this program will be something like, how do we deal with each other? Because it is a Tower of Babel of behavior. Nobody understands anybody.
And this is why we called it Lost in Translation. Because the fact is, with so many generations, and we would here say that we have grandparents, parents, children, and great-grandchildren represented in this program today, one of the difficulties is how to understand each other, how to put yourself and comprehend the mindset of someone from another generation. Which are the values? What do we deem important as baby boomers that may be of no importance at all for my Gen Zs, for my Gen Alphas? This is what we are going to explore today, and I am sure it will help you a lot. So, before we continue with the much talking, we brought an icebreaker. At least in my generation, we would call it icebreaker. Does it make sense for you guys? Do you know what I'm speaking about? I know they do. So, just for you to understand, all generations, we resort to slangs. And what we see the most is a trending word that many times has a total different meaning than the word itself. But that's our way to communicate. And in my time, the way of using certain expressions, it was exactly for our parents, our grandparents, our educators, not to understand really the meaning of what we were talking about. Does it check the box? Is it what you had? So let us put into test some of the words that we used across generations, and maybe it will make no sense for the younger ones. So can I start? Okay, so if we say, for instance, one of the expressions we had, right on, does it make sense to you guys?
Right on. I would say it's something like focus, maybe focus, or I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Anyone want to try?
Maybe I'll say put it on. I'm not
You
so
see
sure.
that Nina comes actually from the same generation, but we are playing here like a generation next, and for her it doesn't make sense that right on is an expression of agreement, right?
Yes.
Right on. Now, millennials, throw one of your favorites.
Let me see. I like this one. I remember using it a lot. China. But
China.
we wouldn't even say China, we say China.
China.
Let me try. China means like my friend.
Yeah, she works with kids of all ages. She is a teacher, right?
Yes.
So she got it right.
Spot on. Spot on.
Yeah, spot on. There is one from the millennials that I liked very much, and I learned here in this program. Do you know what FOMO means?
I have no idea.
That's why he's a baby boomer, you see?
I have no idea. I feel here I'm like...
FOMO, it is one of the things that we learned to hear in one of our shows, isn't it? Fear of missing out. Né? Fear of missing out.
Okay.
FOMO.
I know Babalas. I know Babalas.
From the Gen X, one expression that you used.
Miguel said something earlier on and he didn't pronounce it nicely. He pronounced it very English. Gimba. We don't say Gimba, we say Gimba. You are Gimba.
You are Gimba.
Gimba, what does that mean? Does anyone... PJ, do you have any idea?
No idea.
Gimba.
Lost in translation.
Miguel, Gimba.
Gimba means like food, like you have a relationship with food. You like a lot of food.
How is it to have a relationship with food?
You can't stop thinking about food.
Oh, give me one.
Oxtail.
Oxtail. Uh-huh.
Good taste.
When you say relationship with food, you mean the taste or the quantity or both?
Both.
Both.
That's a good relationship.
Now I would say that the ones who have more expression lately, and even in our shows, we did the battles of the generation some time ago, and the Gen Zs are something else. They are difficult to understand. They are special. It's a special breed, isn't that? Gen Zs. One expression, one word. Pick one that is nice.
Please clock the tea.
Tea, we are going to talk also about tea by the end with PJ, okay? There is tea time by the end. Just hold on there.
Please clock the tea as in like tell like what's happening, like what you're doing, something like that. Yeah.
Clock the tea.
Yeah, clock the tea. Yeah,
Okay,
clock.
because for us didn't make any sense, right? For me also. We are going to learn something different today. From millennials, from Gen Zs, from alphas. It's a new tea. Né? Husband, any expression there that you would like to add on?
I just found out that I'm terrible with slang in expression because everything they are talking about, it's like Greek or something.
You are a baby boomer.
And I have an explanation for that because we came to South Africa when I was supposed to be learning slang. And then I remember trying to learn one or two slangs and someone corrected me and said, if you learn slang,
You don't speak English.
and then you can't speak English. Then I had to let this flavor go for me to speak English, which until today didn't work very well. So this just, oh my word, I'm feeling terrible. I know almost nothing here except the babalas. I said babalas. I know babalas and I know bro. That's it, oh my word. Miguel, we must spend time together.
You're having a crash course, through the generations on our expressions.
Yeah.
But that's the point, because, we raised expressions that for me doesn't make any sense and I can't get the meaning. And even for other generations. I have a question here because it's the first time that I hear 6-7. Go on, Viewey. Who knows 6-7?
I challenge anyone to explain it because
6-7. Tali, you don't know as well?
I learned.
You learned, okay. You know 6-7? You know?
You have to say it, and you have to say it twice, Donna Marcia.
Oh, yeah,
You have
really?
to say 6767.
Oh, 6-7-6-7.
But he's only one.
But can you explain from you? Does it make sense if I say 6-7-6-7 for you?
Yes, it does. It's kind of just like, it's like a meme kind of, but like it also has like a deeper meaning.
It says here it's a newer term. For me, it's totally new.
Yes, it is new. It actually came from a basketball player who somebody filmed him and he did that thing and they were like 6-7 and it became a slang out of that. Some say it has no specific meaning. When I don't, it's like a gap word. If I don't have something to say, I say 6-7-6-7.
Oh.
But others also use it when, in terms of mediocrity or it's average. So
Average.
6-7, 6-7. It was okay.
For us, it would be so-so,
Yes.
right?
But it can mean nothing as well.
All right, that's in there. So we are lost in translation because trying to find the translation, the meaning, we get to the point that there is no meaning and it's okay, I just use it.
Yes.
It's interesting to understand that we are lost in translation and there are words that even have no meaning and they are okay with that. But before we go further, let us try to understand how, in general terms, they establish a new generation. Because let me tell you the truth, when we did a program a couple of years ago, I'm going to say about 3 or 4, I think it was 3 or 4, it was post-COVID, you know, the highlights were millennials and Gen Zs. And there was a huge dispute about facts and point of views. Today, we have, of course, baby boomers, we have Gen X to give our contribution, but now we have to share with the alphas. So how do they establish how a new generation will come about? What are the factors that determine this new generation? Let us learn together.
What if I told you generations are not defined by age alone? Researchers and organizations such as Pew Research Center, Gallup, and generation scholars like Carl Mannheim say generations are identified not just by birth years, but by the major events people experience while growing up. Baby boomers, 1946 to 1964. They grew up after World War II during a time of economic growth. Generation X, from 1965 to 1980, they witnessed major social change and the rise of personal computers. Millennials, 1981 to 1996, they came of age alongside the internet and globalization. Gen Z, 1997 to 2012, they grew up with smartphones, social media, and digital connectivity. Generation Alpha, 2013 to 2024 is growing up in a world shaped by AI and smart technology. But here's the twist. Many sociologists argue that generations are not fixed scientific categories. Where you were born can matter just as much as when you were born. A millennial in South Africa experienced a very different world from a millennial in the United States or in Europe. Researchers call this a shared formative experience, the idea that the event around you during your youth helps shape how you see the world. So, generations are not just about age. They're about the history, technology, culture, and events that shape the people growing up within them. The real question isn't when you were born, it's what kind of world was being born around you.
It's interesting to learn, but more interesting is the fact that we need to understand from one generation to the other how to deal and how to go into their mindset. So I'm going to ask Gen X, what are your biggest challenges, and especially because you work with kids, teens, youth, what is your biggest challenge to understand their mind?
The biggest challenge, respect. There is no respect in that generation. Why I'm saying that? Because when I grew up, it doesn't matter the age of the person you come across, you greet, and you don't greet walking away. You greet, hello ma, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. With them, sharp. Like they just pass and it disturbs a lot. That's challenging for me. And being a teacher, I have learned how to work with them. So I had to, sharp, I do the same thing, sharp.
To connect somehow.
Yes, because I cannot drag them on where I'm coming from. I have to meet them somewhere. Then I can teach them. This is how we do it.
Nina.
So I will say that I can say it's more or less the same as Raida was saying, because I was groomed by my grandmother and my mother at the same time. So we had a lot to learn, you know, by the time we were growing up, a lot of things that we used to do that our grandmother and my mom also used to teach us. So now coming to the youth of today, what we see and compared to what we know, what we've been carrying since, it's completely the same. As she was mentioning, like, okay, you can say good afternoon, good morning. Yeah, you know, you say something and then the answer is like, yeah. Like, oh, okay. You know, so we had to, you know, adapt, you know, we had to adapt to them, the way, you know, they do things, the way they speak. And we end up also, because we have to adapt.
Alphas, how do you see respect?
Like respect is like kind of.
It's difficult for them even to explain.
Well, like I will say that sometimes we have respect, but sometimes we don't have that much respect.
How do you think you show respect?
Should I say how we should show respect?
How do you think, in your understanding, maybe you have been to a situation that someone corrected one of you and said, you don't have manners, you don't have respect. But in your mind, you were doing the right thing.
Yeah, I have with my mom. Like basically, whenever I do something wrong with her, she always corrects me, and I get kind of irritated sometimes.
Do you answer back? Miguel? Go on.
I do sometimes. It's like a debate, sort of. It turns into a debate.
A debate.
Then that debate leads me to sleep earlier. Sometimes my phone stays in the sitting room because I won't be allowed to go with the phone if I decide to have a debate.
And you call it a debate?
Sometimes.
You try to make your mother to see your reason. And she calls it disrespect.
Yes.
And do you think you disrespected her?
In some ways, in their terms, it would be like disrespect. But in the new, like in nowadays, it's not really. The thing is, if you answer back, it's like disrespect. But there is a time that you can answer back, but it will be like you're disrespecting.
But you don't see it wrong. You guys, for you, it's not wrong.
Not really, no.
Not really. My husband, what would happen to you? What was respect in your time?
Oh, it was like a slavery. One day, my grandmother slapped me on the mouth, like we call it in Pama, like here, boom. Because I went to bed without saying, "Grandmother, good night, I'm going to sleep, your blessing. God bless you, my son, you can go." And I didn't do that. So I got this big slap, and then never again, out of fear, I would get her blessing, and even the blessing of everyone. Blessing, please, blessing, because I don't want to get that slap again. So there are a few other things, but they are so outdated that they don't make sense anymore.
But it was demanded from us,
oh,
isn't it?
yes. It's like you have to pay tax. You like a toll gate. You can't pass in front of the person without saying something like good morning, bowing a little bit, or things like that. It was like an army stuff.
In my case, my granny, she would call me, and it was, I would get into trouble if I just say, what do you want? Never, ever, ever again. It was just once. What do you want? It is, yes, granny, I'm here, I'm coming. Otherwise, it was a huge disrespect for her. And today, I think we got used to the fact that someone will say, yes, what do you want? Right? What is disrespect or respect for millennials?
6767.
So walk us through the 6767.
We are in between the two, Miss Marcia. We're literally in between the two. I like to say millennials are usually the most versatile because we were on both ends.
6-7.
But I think I got to see the transition of the two, and some are really taboo for me. The famous debate of our young brother here, as Bishop said, no.
No, we would not.
Most of us millennials, I think, but then I do believe that there were exceptions because of the time. So I do think some parents would slack a bit, because I remember one of my schoolmates. He was very mischievous and always in trouble, always in fights. And I remember him saying this to me, that he says, I can get home and the school can call my mother about anything. I can get into trouble for anything. Probably I could get away with murder, but if they call my mother to say that I disrespected a teacher, I'm a dead guy. So, but then at the same time, we would see other guys who would disrespect. So it's literally something which we saw both ends, and I do believe it came across from which household you would come where that respect was maintained. I know in my case, the debate story, I learned debate at school with my peers and not with my parents.
Yeah,
No
I think
ways.
debate from our generations, it was out of question. Gen Zs, you very special guys. Debate, respect.
So I feel like the issue with respect, how we view respect is when, we admire someone or someone has done good to us. That's when we're like, okay, this is someone I can respect. And the issue around respect in terms of conflict with other generations, especially when it comes to greeting, with Gen Z, the way we would greet each other is very casual. And so, for example, or we don't greet each other at all. For example, my friend would just come behind me, hit me on the head, and then that's how I know it's my friend. You understand? It's casual. You understand? It's between me and him. You understand? Because I'm used to him, he's used to me. And so I feel like that's where it can get lost in translation, because we are so used as Gen Zs not greeting each other. I was even making this joke that I'm 5 months into this friendship, yet I still don't know your name. You understand? That's how it can be.
My gosh, that is shocking to me.
we don't get to that part of how what's your name and stuff like that. It just goes, oh, you like this? Let's be friends. You understand? That's us in a nutshell. And so for many older generations, it can come off as disrespectful because they expect to be greeted in a certain way. They expect it to, you're supposed to say this in a certain way. You understand? And I feel like that's where it can get lost in translation.
Poxa, how to adjust? Or you guys simply think we don't need to adjust? We are Gen Zs. They need to understand us, and that's it.
For me, I would say literally, you don't have to adjust anything because you can just adapt to what we do or how we live. But I feel like also we should also adapt to how the other generation greet people.
How is it with your parents?
Yo.
Ah.
Okay, one parent
They are
is...
millennials, they are Gen X.
I think they Gen X.
Gen X.
Oh, one is like, I don't know.
You have one of a kind.
Yeah.
That is fun. And then, how is it with your parents?
Okay,
Just hi.
With my mom adapted to how we greet her, which was fine. With my dad was like, yo, you still need to go to good afternoon, daddy, how are you? Like that type of event. Sometimes it's like you're in a hurry and you forget to say good afternoon, daddy. It's just like good afternoon, goodbye. Then you just leave.
Hi and bye.
Yeah, hi and bye. How are you? You don't even say how are you. It's like, are you good? Like you just go through it. And when my mom was like, we chill with my mom. Like we could like go, hi, how are you? You don't even say how are you. It's just like, mommy, you know what happened today? Like you just skip that whole day. But with like, my dad is like, you still need to find yourself in William Shakespeare's way of greeting. Like, it's crazy.
Now, what I wanted to know honestly, that's the point. Honestly, do you see the merit of it or you can't get why it's so important?
I still can't get it why it's so important, but I also do see the merits of it, so I say both.
6,
7.
6, 7.
6, 7.
I think we're going to leave the program with what's the conclusion? 6, 7. Because
6, 7.
Te amo, do you see the merit of it or it's still difficult to understand why it's so important?
I think it is important, especially for elder generations. You understand?
No, but you. Does it make sense for you, a Gen Z, or you do because, okay, otherwise you're going to get in trouble? Do you see the merit of it, the importance of it? It doesn't make an importance for you.
I'm caught in between because it can easily become annoying and redundant. You understand? To keep saying the same things. Or like, I'm not saying it out of disrespect. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
You understand? So it can get annoying and redundant, but I understand it.
Mm-hmm. Alphas, is it important or you don't see the importance of it?
I would say it is important because in our days, like, greeting is a form of acknowledging that you're there, because there's this trend that I saw not so long ago. I think
he's Gen X in this. Let us promote him.
There's this trend that I saw on TikTok not so long ago but it's like a Gen Z trend, like people around maybe 18 above. So then like there'll be like maybe 3 in a group standing somewhere, and then there'll be one that greets the 2, like a handshake, and then he doesn't greet the 1. Then the one will get irritated, and then when he leaves, he'll think like, okay, he'll greet me now. He'll acknowledge my presence now. Then he doesn't leave. Then for us, it is a little bit important to greet, just to show that you acknowledge us.
But do you think all your peers, they think the same way?
Most they do.
Viewey?
No, it is important to greet and stuff, but like, I also like, I don't see why we have to make it so formal.
Let us bring some wisdom. Why is it important? At least for us in our generation, yes. It is important.
Respect for me, it starts there with the greeting. I'll give you a scenario. I'm at home. I won't say in class. I'm at home. I'm busy cooking. You coming from school, Viwe, and then you come in, you just say, hi. Then you go to sitting room to do homework or to change. I'm there. You don't know how was mommy's day. Maybe mommy, while coming, fell by the stairs. And when I just go and say, hi, then you pass. In me, this child doesn't care. This child doesn't love me. To me, when you come, you say, hi, how are you, mommy? How was your day? You look into my eyes, I look into your eyes. If there's something wrong with you, I'll be able to see, is everything okay, Viwe? But when you do hi, maybe you're hiding something. What did you do wrong? So many things will come into my mind. So greeting for me, it's big. Even when I used to travel with a taxi, I go in the taxi, dumelang, and then someone doesn't greet, lekai, I'll make sure that, hello. Because if someone does that to me, I won't feel good. Everywhere I go, greetings, it's a big deal. It shows respect. Like he said, I acknowledge you. Yes.
That's it. My husband, from this very beautiful list that we have here, we explored respect. I would like you to pick one, because I have one in mind, and throw at them.
Can I choose any of them?
Yes, from this list here. Yeah. Respect we have done.
I can call any of them. So, Miguel, let's talk about the use of money. Money, how people use money, like your mother, your parents, yourself.
And you.
Yourself, like where do we draw the line? This is unnecessary, or this is very important. Just to make it more evident to you. So you are standing next to your mother, and there is a shirt. One costs 100 rand, and the other one costs 1,250 rand. And she has money to buy the expensive, but she buys the cheaper one. So how your parents will use money in that moment? How are you going to feel if she gives you the cheaper one? It's a nice one, it's okay, but you have your eyes on that other one. The color is more vivid, and the design
There's a brand.
will make you, I'm here, guys. But she buys the one of 250 rand. How will you see that use of money? Good investment, bad investment?
I would see it as a good investment because clothes don't last that long. Because imagine having something expensive, but it's cheaper quality. And then the cheap thing that you're avoiding is actually better quality. And there's not a lot of children that have parents that have condition to buy like clothes. So then I would desire the more expensive one, because let's say, as Ms. Marcia said, it's a brand. I would desire that one, but as for costs and money things at home, I would appreciate the cheaper one, because it's not like I'm the only person in the house. They'll still need to buy food, electricity, and other things. So the cheaper one for me wouldn't be a problem, but it would be nice.
How old are you?
14.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And he's a Gen Alpha. Now, this is very specific for Gen Zs, because in another program, PJ is my witness to that, I heard, I don't understand why my parents don't give me what I need. No, but it's not what you need, it's what you want, because it's branded clothes that you can buy. No, it's what I need. I need it. What is your view between the two shirts? Which one would you pick? One is a branded one, 1,000 rand. Branded. Think about that one you have been dreaming. And then she gives you the 250, no name. And you are Gen Z.
I would accept it because I was someone who, like, growing up, I understood the financial conditions of my mother. And so I knew that if I was going to get something like expensive, it would be towards the end of the year. But during the year or something, it would be like casual clothing and stuff like that. Even during December, even if it's not something expensive, it's a lot, but it's not like...
But is it a common sense in your generation?
It is common for our generation to say that it's either the branded clothing or nothing.
That's what I heard. Do you agree, Portia?
Yes, I do. Because at some, like, these kids at school who would rather go hungry than, for them to go hungry than to not have, like, a 3,000 shoe. And they don't mind. And they will, like, show it off. If they have to, they'll show it off. And they're hungry, but they'll show it off. Like, no, I got these shoes. Yeah.
That's Gen Z. Millennials, you're very different in that aspect.
I think, like I said, a bit of both worlds. There are those, the extreme, who will die for a brand to live out of that
But
appearance.
I think they are the younger ones. In the millennials, in the age gap, they are the younger ones.
I would say they set the trend that gave birth to what also the Gen Zs have. Because many of the trends of millennials and Gen Zs are very similar, especially your late or mid millennials and early Gen Zs are very similar. So I think you would have the two extremes.
Yeah, I agree on that, because I think it also depends on how you were brought up. Because I remember my mother sitting down with me and explaining, okay, we are going to buy your school stuff. So don't ask for the most expensive because we don't have it now. So don't ask for it. So we learn to appreciate what we receive, but at the same time, there is that wish just because of comparison at school, like, okay, I appreciate my mother could give me this, but I would appreciate even more if she could give me something better. So I think it's between as well, a bit of both.
How the Gen X would see that?
Now it's a different story. Back then, you didn't have a choice. You get what you get. And most of the time, I'll wear a shirt. When I grow up, my younger sister will wear it. So we didn't have this 250. They just come. Whatever fits you, you are lucky. You are blessed. So it was that. But now, as a mother, and I have a child who will say, the 1,000 rand one, it's fine. Then you must know no food in the house. You'll bath with cold water. That money has to be somewhere. Unfortunately, I cannot buy you 1,000 rand shirt and have electricity in this house at the same time. Something is going to suffer. So we need to check. I'm not going to say
for
6,
us
7.
as baby boomers, it went beyond, because we would not even be made aware of the price. We would not question. What was given, that was it.
That's it.
And we would not question about price. And I don't remember the concept of brains. We never desired to have brains because it was not, we didn't grow up with that. As a matter of fact, we were made very conscious about the financial situation. And in my case, more than that, even if my grandparents would afford certain things, my granny looked at me at the age of 13 and said, you're going to start working because you need to know the value of money. Money that you worked for, so that when you receive something, you're going to know what you can, what you cannot do. And you're going to prioritize how to spend that money. So that was how we grew up, because I started working piece jobs at the age of 13, and you started?
14. But
full-time?
Yeah, full-time, was not piece job.
Yeah.
It was full-time.
Registered
Yes.
and studying at night.
Yes.
And we had to work and contribute in the house.
Oh, yes. I would, every day at the age of 14, wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, go to work from 6 to 4 o'clock or sometimes 5, and then rush home, change, eat something, go to school until 11 p.m.
At your age, Miguel. That was how we grew up, because those were days that they would say, toughen up. Life is hard. If you are soft now, you're not going to make it. If you have everything at your feet, you're not going to learn to fight. So sometimes even having the condition to give, they would not give to make us to mature, to give value, to work hard for that. And it was you and your brother, both of you working.
Yeah.
And in the weekend, where did you work at?
I usually I would be the slave in the house because it was a cleaning like spring deep cleaning day. I still remember those days. I had to scrub the carpet, I had to polish the tiles on the wall, and I had to polish the pots. If the pots they're not shiny, I would be slapped. And it was terrible. And then when we grew up a little bit, we didn't want to do that anymore, so my mother had to bribe us with money. So if you help me, I will give you that much. Then would give me a boost a little bit, but it was terrible.
Because they wanted to enforce in us the sense of responsibility in every area. You see how we change it. Today, how, for instance, Gen Zs see house chores?
Okay, my brothers don't do much because they're boys. So my mom, like, you're a woman, so you need to learn how to do the house chores and everything. But at some point in my head, it goes, but I'm not the only person. You didn't give birth to one child. You gave birth to 3 kids. You could also ask the other kids to do something. I'm not the only child in the house. So at some point, it's like, if I say that, I'm not going to survive.
Te amo. House chores.
Growing up, it was a struggle to accept the fact that I can't always be watching TV. That I have to be doing something, washing dishes, especially when, I had this like motivation that I'm gonna wash dishes. Then she says, "Go wash dishes." But as I grew up, especially now as I'm staying by myself in res, I saw the value and importance of taking care of myself, of making sure that I make my bed, wash my dishes before and after eating, so that when I want to make food, they're just there automatically. And growing up, it was a frustrating thing, but as I more mature, I saw the value and importance in doing it.
Alphas, how is it to do home chores?
It would be fun if I'm not told to do them, because on my own, I know that this is my responsibility. But if my parents get home and nothing's done, I'll be told you're lazy. But sometimes the things that I do, they don't see because they're not there. So if they leave me on my phone or watching TV or doing something, lazing around, and then they come back and find me doing that same thing, they'll say I'm lazy. But not knowing, without me telling them, they wouldn't know what I did. Unless they notice, no man, this was there, but now it's not. Did you do this or something? House chores could be, there is a stage where house chores get to be boring, because you're doing the same thing over and over. There is some fun house chores. Some are boring, some are not. I'm not sure, but dishes, it depends on how many there are.
And if there are pots.
Pots are my main enemy. But I don't wash the pots somehow.
You're my enemy too.
So
I liked that. I want you to explain me more. House chores would be fun if they were not asked.
Yes.
But do you understand the point that parents need to ask you to do? Because if they don't, you don't see the need and you don't do.
There is a need, because isn't it when you're left alone at home, you get that me time. I was being told to do this the other day.
Me time.
That me time
Yes.
is how long?
Mostly, if both my parents go to work, it's from maybe from 6 in the morning. Let me not count school, but school I can count because now I do homeschooling. So then there's our breaks in between. So then from 6 in the morning to around 5. Sometimes my father arrives 7. So then that me time, I'll have time for me to do my own things like school. I'll have school. And then after
So
that...
from 6 in the morning to 7 in the evening, that would be me time.
Yes, but my mom leaves later, maybe around 8.
It's quite a lot of me time, isn't that?
Yeah, that should be called a lot of me time.
Yes, from 7 or 8 to 7 in the evening. It's a 12-hour of me time.
TikTok and what else?
And what would you do in this me time before studying?
Normally, if I get a chance, if there's not too much noise when they leave, I just sleep until they leave. Because, before they leave, they get this urge to tell you, you must do this, you must do this. When I come back, I want to find this house like this, like this, like this. So then, for me, if I'm not sleeping, I'll just stay in the room. So then, but I'll try to sleep because mostly when there's this heater that stays by the main cupboard, so then it will make noise when it's rolled around to open. So then, sometimes they do come in my room because there is some of their clothes inside. So then, if I'm not sleeping, I'll start school early for me to have time. Like, because some of the lessons are boring, especially Afrikaans. I do understand, but it's difficult.
And then it's part of the me time.
I don't really consider it me time because the school takes my me time. Let me say weekends. That's when I have me time. Me time, in that time, I will first sleep, then I'll have breakfast. I'll make myself breakfast. And then since I have nothing to do, it depends. I might go outside first. If I don't go outside, I'll clean the house. I'll take my kettle, boil water, put it in the bucket, mop around the house, sweep, do everything.
So you do house chores?
I do, if I'm not told. If I'm told, that's when it gets boring.
Then you
He
drag.
does it if he's not told.
And if you're not told what time you're going to do it, like first thing or last thing?
In between, because I don't want to end with cleaning. I don't want to start with cleaning. Sometimes I do start, but I'll have gaps in between. I'll take my phone and then I sit on the couch. Then 30 minutes goes by. Then I remember that I was
30
doing a
minutes
task.
goes by. Miguel, if you had met my granny, I don't know, this me time, 30 minutes would last more than 1 minute. Do you agree, Gen X?
I agree because I remember by the time we were growing up, we used to, because my father had died earlier and then my mother, she had to take over and we were 7. So the work that we will be given, the housework, it was divided. You do this, you do that, you do that. And my mother will leave. She will go to work. But then when she comes back, she will want to see the house clean. She will ask one by one, okay, your work. So then if, like, I'm given a work to do before I go to school, I'm given a work to do and I don't do it, I won't receive, like, I won't be getting shoes or dress. So we'll be receiving according to the work that will be given, like cleaning the house and taking care and all that. So with them, it's completely different because they do when they want and when they are told. So it's completely different because to us, it has to do more with obeying. the parents, the grandmother, because now my dad was no longer there, and there was that thing of us that, okay, now dad is no longer here, and maybe we can do whatever, So my mom should come and would say, you still under my roof, this is my house, even though your dad is no longer there, but nothing changes. So we had to do it, we had to obey, and we never asked but why me? Like Portia mentioned that, but I'm not the only child. So to us, it was not like that. If you are told to do, you don't question, you don't ask, you just do it according to, the way you have been told to do.
That was it. That was like this with us, isn't that? Millennials, in between again.
I hated it, but I had to do it.
There was no option.
No, I had to do it.
I had no one to share my chores with because I'm an only child.
And you had to do it.
And I had to do it, but my parents are very strict. So I think that's why.
There was no option.
No option.
And the fact that we didn't even question, what is it in it for me in the future? We would just obey. Like Tiamu, he said, now he realizes there was an importance because now he's staying alone, he learned something. But for us, we would not even question. It was part of the process of growing up and having responsibilities and dealing with the responsibilities, right? Now, my husband, I want you to take from something here, because we spoke about money, we spoke about home chores, and I wanted to speak about something that is very much appealing for these last 3 generations, but it might be a challenge for our generation. He is a TikToker, so Viewing, technology. What does this word tell you?
Like online social media.
Mm-hmm.
And like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
And do you make use of all of that?
I don't have Instagram. I have TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat.
Can you live without it?
Got our answer. We got an answer.
Do you just want to confirm your face expression?
Am I allowed to lie?
Of course not.
No, I don't think so. I think I like physically need it.
Physically need it.
Gen Z's technology, what does it mean for you?
Okay, for technology for me is it helps in a way that you get easy access to everything. You don't have to go like you guys used to go to the library and everything. We don't have to do that. We can just search it up and everything. So I would say I won't think I would live without it.
Tiamo?
Technology makes life simple. It allows me to for me, one of the other reasons I use technology is to check how many calories are in a certain food. Because if I were to check like the paper itself, maybe it's not reliable. But if I were to check the internet, that's going to tell me, okay, this is how much it is. It provides, how would I say, clearance. And technology is very important in the generation that we're living in. Instagram, I don't have TikTok. I think when it comes to social media, I'm on the line of a millennial, of PG's generation, because I just don't like social media as much. The only thing I would have is Instagram. Yeah, Instagram and Facebook.
Question, yes or no? Can you live without it? And yet, no, you're not allowed to lie.
I can endure without it. Can I live without it? No, but I can endure without it.
Portia? No. Millennials, technology.
I see a trend with the millennials. We watched it in our teenage years, the transition from not having and having technology very accessible. And we were all about it. All we wanted was to have access to internet, to social media, social media as well, not the ones of today, but we wanted to have access. But I see a trend in millennials that now they want to distance, they're trying to distance themselves a little bit.
Really?
Because I think they miss not having social media as well. So I see a trend that, okay, we were running towards technology and development, but now I just want some chill, I want some peace. And I know there is a group of millennials that they decide to be offline. There are not many.
They're getting old.
Yes, I think so, Ms. Marcia.
Getting old.
I think so. And we were all about this life of conquest and going to the big city. And I think technology involves all of these. And now many of them, not all, I'm not generalizing, but I see a group of millennials that want a more peaceful life, a bit of both, the best of both worlds. If I would live without it.
For you?
Okay, for me, I'll be honest, Ms. Marta, I think I'm a very old person.
So she's a millennial going to Gen X. And we are Gen X going to baby boomers. DJ,
I would love living without
the same
social media.
sentiment?
Not at all. That's her. That's her. I could agree to the extent of perhaps the nostalgia sometimes we have of certain pre-technology time, because we were the trendsetters of social media, which by the time the Gen Zs got into it, they were already stuck into it. I remember being amongst the first when your first social medias were there, and always wanting to be amongst the first to have friends and show off and show to people that I had access to this. So, but I'm still very much into technology with a certain equilibrium. Mm-hmm. But I will say that there are certain aspects of, if you notice, millennials have a huge thing today of your physical cameras which print, your Fujifilms which print, and your Polaroids. We're going back because it's kind of like we created something, we got stuck into that, and now let's move a little bit back. Not that we would fully step away from it. I would not grab a camera like that and live off of it. I would still stay digital 100%, but with a little bit of that mix, once again, 6767, with a little bit of that mix of
the name of this program will be 6767. Yeah. Not lost in translation. Now you're going to see the difference. When we talk about technology for us, Gen X, baby boomers, how do you see it?
I can say technology makes people lazy. Everything microwave, everything phone. You want to know about baby in the stomach, you Google. They don't study. They want the technology to help them do their work. We don't do the work anymore ourselves. Mm-hmm. I'm studying, I still take a pen and a notebook and write everything down. Yes, the technology is there, but I feel comfortable because the minute I copy and write it down, it stays better than to Google it, and it's cheating. Technology makes lots of people to cheat, if I may say. And I don't mind. I can stay without it because I have survived. But
we came from the era that we didn't have it.
The resources that we had back then before the technology.
Nina, do you agree?
Yes, Ms. Masha. I'll say on my side, I remember going to school, one of my colleagues, and we had to start, like we were preparing for final exam, and we had to do a lot of studying, and she was like, okay, we have to meet at library so that we can study and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm ready for exam. Like, but how come? I said, I'm ready because I've reading the books. And she was like, my problem is I stayed the whole day on TikTok. So I will agree with Trida when she says that it makes people lazy, because nowadays people, they don't study anymore. Instead of studying, they run to Google, TikTok, and they spend more time instead of grabbing the books and read, you know. So, yes, I would say.
Do you? Now we have here a difference. Because technology, for me, though I recognize the importance of it, that makes my work much easier, for me it's sort of a burden to understand all that. I was forced to. I am not a person that will crave and desire and spend hours on computer. But on the other hand, I have my husband, who for some reason loves technology. Though I have to put a disclaimer, we can live without it. Can you?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. But I don't know what happened with me, and I'm not sure when. But I am like deep into it, like 100%. And I've been looking at a lot of research out there that people are losing their cognitive ability, blah, blah, blah,
It's a
blah.
fact.
Some people will argue that. I am one of them. Because if you agree with laziness, you're going to be lazy no matter what comes, whether it is a book, a computer, or a prompt. And if you don't challenge yourself, you can read a book, you can write a sentence using a pen, you are going to be lazy anyway. But if you kick yourself out of your comfort zone, you are going to be, you're going to use like AI to boost your cognitive ability. When something doesn't work, you are not going to take me out of there until I fix that. I mean, I don't. And I'm discovering myself here. I like a lot of me time. Oh, I love that. The 6-7 stuff. Oh, that is, I have some more answers to give to you. What are you doing? Me time.
You are forbidden to do that.
Too late.
Anyway, it's clear that we have a huge difference from one generation to the other.
Yes.
And we went to our social media and asked it for them to highlight, according to their generations, what was the huge gap. Let us hear what they have to say. And after, I think that's the most important part of this program. Differences are there, but how to make them to work for the best of all of us from different generations. And you're going to hear that from each one of them just after.
What is the biggest clash in generations right now? Tell us in the comment section.
Yo. One of the biggest clashes is communication styles, especially how each generation has different ideas of what counts as respectful and acceptable communications.
Biggest clash between Millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha is probably technology. Millennials grew up outside, Gen Z grew up online, and Gen Alpha is growing up with AI before they even fully understand the real world.
I think that older generations value endurance and survival, while younger generations value authenticity and speaking about their struggles. Both perspectives come from real experiences.
I think both generations avoid pain differently. Older generations hide it, while younger generations express it publicly.
So I believe that the younger generation is mostly shaped through technology due to their lives evolving around social media. And the younger generation is way more fast-paced than the older one, whereas they are mostly focused on family, they are mostly focused on their kids, and their ultimate goal is to get married one day.
I speak as a millennial. I believe millennials leaned into hustle culture to prove their worth during a recession, while Gen Z is more likely to prioritize work-life boundaries and mental health.
Welcome back. Interesting to see the comments, and the differences are clear. Now, the point is, since we were all born in different times, but we need somehow to live together and to make the best of it in families, in communities, at workplace, how do we bridge those gaps? I'm going to leave with them to give to us one suggestion, one tip, or something they did or will try to do from today on. Let us start with the Gen X.
Okay, I can say understand each other. We need to sacrifice. Me as a Gen X, I cannot say, but I don't like TikTok. I'm a teacher. I'm a businesswoman. I need TikTok. Back then, there were billboards or door-to-door. Now, I can't do that. For me to reach someone who's in Zambia, I need this technology. So I have to adapt, try to learn from my generation, older generation, and the new generation. For their life to become easy, I need to bend a little bit back so that I can get an objective. Because if I'm going to say, no, I'm a Gen X, I have to go to the river to get water, when am I going to get home? There are no rivers here in Joburg. I have to open the tap and get the water. So I need to improve, just like everything else around me is improving.
Good. Nina?
Okay, I will say maybe we have to adapt, because I remember in our times, we didn't have a lot of things that the other generation are having now. And I remember we used to use those phones, those big phones that we used to put on, with big, yes, we used to call Motorola, and we didn't have Facebook, Google, and all those things. And we're depending on the books that, of course, the books helped us. And I will say we just have to keep, adapting. And because on my side, for example, I do business as well. I do baking, deco, and sometimes for me to be able to get my clients from a distance, it has to be, I have to use Facebook, Google, and I have to use WhatsApp and all that. So technology is also good in terms of that as well. So I can't say it has to be banned or I hate or I don't like, because it helps also my business as well as my husband as well. So, yes.
Adapt. Now, from the Gen X to the Millennials.
I would say let us meet halfway. I think the younger generations trying to understand a little bit where they came from, the previous ones, and also the older ones trying to understand the younger ones, and that times have changed. And if we stay stuck, we are going to die.
I agree. And I would say also not to paint everyone with the same brush. A similar example, as Bishop was saying, with regards to technology, most people of his generation will, fend off the idea of technology. No,
starting by me.
So I think it is not painting everyone with the same brush. Recently, I was noticing, I used to be quite critical some years ago of Gen Zs. And Gen Zs are actually a lot more vocal than millennials. Millennials were very individualistic, driven to their success, whereby the country is crashing down. And in recent years, the ones who have gone to the streets and been vocal to make a change in their countries, not only in South Africa, but across the world, it has been the Gen Zs. So it's actually stopping to paint, and I think it's a pretty bad habit most people have in my time, but times have changed. I remember my dad would say to me when I would be always on my phone, And he would say to me, in my time, I wouldn't be on my phone all the time. And at the back of my mind, I'm like, there were no cell phones in your days. Of course, I wouldn't say that because I'd be a dead man. But at the back of my mind, that's how I would think. So generally, it's that thing, we always want to compete that in my time, it was better. So it's understanding that times have changed and what is it that we can do today to understand, similar to Mum Trida and Mum Nina said, understanding that times have changed, and if you're not going to adapt and keep up with times, you will indeed be left behind, and you will have the clash because you're not going to understand them, and they will not want to understand you either.
From the millennials to the Gen Zs, the vocals Gen Zs.
For me, it will be like to adapt, and also for parents also to understand that not every child that you have, you need to always imply and force them to do the same way that you were forced to do something. Like, I remember with my brother, because, okay, I'll start with myself first. I have friends, but most of my friends are like guys. And then my dad has a thing of, oh, when you're a guy with a friend, then now, okay, you having a relationship with this person. And now when you're trying to explain that, it's like, it seems like you're the disrespectful one and you're the one who's wrong. With my brother's the same thing. He has more female friends. But when your parents try to see that, they think, oh no, you're dating now, or you want to get married, what are you dating for? Like that type of way. So it's like, okay, meet halfway. Like, first listen to what we have to say instead of judging what you see with your eyes. So I'll say adapt, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tim?
I would say let's understand the other generation's perspective. Let's try and understand each other, and let's remove the stereotyping. One of the reasons why, especially with Gen Z, why like greeting has died down is because we assume that all the generation, like all the older generation, are rude. You understand? That's why, because they don't respond back to whenever we greet, so we like put them in that same bracket to say no, because this one didn't greet me back, so all of them are not gonna greet me back. So let's remove that stereotyping, and as well as let's understand each other's perspectives. If Mama Taida is the one who feels as if I'm not, like, I need to be vocal with her, I must be more expressive in how I greet, then I'll do the same. And she also recognizes that if I'm not in the mood, then I'll just say hi and pass on with my day. So we have to understand each other's perspectives, and that way there'll be harmony in whatever context that there is.
Viewing. Now, the latest generations.
I think I fully agree with Gen Z, because sometimes our parents, not just our parents, but usually people don't really hear us out. They don't really listen to us because we're younger. So I just wish people would hear us out more.
To give you the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel.
I would think if they can meet us halfway with emotions too, because old people also have bad days. Let me not say old people, other generations may have bad days. Mm-hmm. But it is...
Thank you for that. I feel younger now.
You played it safe.
It is a little necessary to greet back. I'm sticking on the greeting situation because it happens a lot where I stay. That a lot of adults, that it's a forced method to greet them, because you greet, they don't acknowledge that you greeted them. There was this situation that I had. Well, let me say, it happened last year. So then I was greeting one of the people that stay there, and then she looked at me and ignored me. And then one of the neighbors greeted her and she responded back to them, not me. So then I feel like if we can meet each other halfway with emotions and respect, it's not like if I don't respect you, you don't have to respect me. It's like...
Respect goes both ways.
Yes, like a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have to say is greeting is what can I say? Ubuntu. Greeting is acknowledging that I'm there. I'm also human. I'd understand if you were passing a pet dog, maybe. It's a dog, he can't hear me. Because a lot of things now are generalized, that if I greet and then they don't greet back, what will I then think of myself? And then when you meet that same person again, then they will say, oh, you don't greet these days, what happens? That's the problem many people face, maybe my age.
So, you had from them views from different generations. I would just add that we should try to understand each other's point of view. We made a quick exercise here, if you notice, on the terms of respect. And I think having the opportunity to hear from them, you understood why one doesn't, why the other feels it's important. Why not applying this in every situation that we have different opinions? In life would be much easier. Now, we are going to hear God's point in this.
All right, so we had a very interesting conversation here, and now it's time for you to be poked out of your comfort zone. Because everybody, whether they are baby boomers, X, Gen Zs, and so many other generations to come, we should avoid this, I'm sorry guys, this bad behavior of thinking that everybody else has to be like us. If you think about the Lord Jesus Christ, he easily adapts to every type of generation. He went very well with the Galileans. He sat with the drunkards and the gluttons. He would come in and fit in, understand people's behavior, and be able to address what he needed to do. So in life, for you to be able to get someone to give you this, ears, attention, you have to show them that there is a very good thing out of it. If they listen to you, they are going to benefit a lot. I just happened to have just now become curious about this word that I read a couple of times. No, it's not the Bible yet. It's a computer language, data. Do you know what data means? I made here a very quick note. Data is a computer language that means information that a computer reads, stores, and uses. We are not computers, we are human beings, but like a computer, we also have information that we read, some of it we store, and others we use. For example, there are 3 words that I want to leave with you today that gives your behavior that data type of language. Only 3 words. The first one is behavior, the second one, thoughts, and the third one, choices. Behavior, thoughts, and choices. They are your data. They give information about you. Some of this will be stored. Others will be used. And there are other information that it's going to be just there being practiced every day. The proper way for you to greet someone is to say, hello, good morning, followed by name, how are you doing today? But there is a group of people that I have met a while ago. When I pass to them, I hoot, usually they are standing outside, I hoot, and I greet them like this. And they will do this or they'll punch their chest, you know. There is a connection there. So perhaps to avoid this conflict and understand the 6-7 and the me time, I loved that me time thing. This is going to be part of my day. My wife is going to call me and say, what are you doing? It's me time right now. And it is okay for your child to pass to you, and instead of saying, Good morning, ma'am, mama, how are you doing? It's okay for your child to come and say, shop. As long as your child understands how much you love her. So let me take you now to the book of James chapter 1, verse number 22, where the brother of Jesus, by the way, James, he said, but be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Because when you demand things that you don't do, you're deceiving yourself. The other verse says, for if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man observing his natural face in a mirror. For he observes himself, goes away and immediately forgets what kind of man he was. So it's so simple. Be a doer. Don't be a hearer. You know, I believe wholeheartedly that if you become less old-fashioned and you understand how these guys think, because, you know, this Gen Z, I love these guys. I'm telling you, because I learn from them. My work is to preach. And for me to get people to listen to me, I need to respect them. But then how do you define respect? That is the secret of this program. How do you define it? So, Vivi, she's going to go shop. And that shop, she's showing her mother that she loves her. One of the things that all of us should avoid is that people should not be afraid of us. They should respect us. And respect is a road. Never mind the age, never mind the gender, or the culture. If I want Miguel, he's 14. I'm a bit more than that, just a little bit more. I need him to respect me. So I have to respect him. But then what do? Do I make him love me for not telling him he has to work? I love house chores as long as nobody tells me to do that. That is not going to be possible. Someone will have to tell him, hey, let's go, guy, you have to start doing your job now. And he will hate that for a while. As a matter of fact, Gen Zs and the Gen Betas coming along the way, all of us love our me time, all of us love our comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone because that's where your dream will die. So, do you want to have your me time? Go ahead. But first, be someone else's time, your mother's time, your teacher's time. Be on top of things. Let's go, guys, grow up. Be a man, be a woman. Do what you have to do. First thing first. If you want to be someone who is going to make a difference in this world, you have to wake up in the morning and give you 3 hours. In the first 3 hours of the day, you have to do everything that you have to do. And then after, you're going to have your me time and so forth. It's up to you. You can be a hearer or a doer. But the problem is, if you are a hearer, you are going to see yourself in the mirror and you're going to forget how you look like. That means your results will last for a very short period of time. It depends. I have made a decision in my life some time ago that I'm not going to grow old. Yes, I will age, but I'm not going to be this old age person, old age, old mentality, old school. No old school. I want the school of God. His words renews every day, and I believe that if Jesus was here right now in person, he would get along with Miguel very well. He would get along with the Gen Zs and all of them very well, get the attention, get their ears, and be able to change them. Apostle James, he is giving us the recipe to victory. And what it is, it's me, myself, and so forth. As I said here, thoughts, behavior, thoughts, and choices, they are your data. They give information about you. And the information about your behavior tells whether you are going to win or you are going to lose. Do you want to win? So you have to pay the price. The higher your dream, higher your sacrifice. Oh, that's too much. Easy. Just make your dream smaller.
With all that said, we are going to make a prayer. But I will invite PJ to pray for us to become doers.
Okay. Lord Jesus, the loss in translation, we see that is a difficulty or a person's refusal in transforming, renewing their minds, and bringing to themselves the understanding. Those who choose to become simply hearers instead of doers. So I ask that those, especially in families right now, who find themselves lost in translation, the barrier between parents and children, that this may come to an end right now, that through what they heard, they may transform that into action, for them to bring understanding between them and their children and the children towards their parents. Because we know that in a simple subject as what we brought today, many families are being broken apart. Much misunderstanding takes place because of the refusal of being doers and instead just being hearers. So let this transformation take place where there has been chaos, there has been hell breaking loose in these homes and in these families. You may bring understanding, peace, love, and joy amongst them, regardless of the generation, of the age, of whatever they are facing. Let there be a restoration of peace as of this moment. We determine this in one spirit, in one unity, and in one faith. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Just before we go, we are in the month of the youth in South Africa, and there is a certain tea, cooking or getting cold. Can you explain a little more and throw the invitation for June 16?
Certainly. Miss Marcia, it's interesting because when we have these movements of the VYG, usually it's an idea. For those who don't know, oftentimes Bishop will have an idea and we will take that idea and we will elaborate on top of it. So this one day Bishop was speaking about the tea's gone cold, because many young people, people in general, not only young people, but people in general have had their tea which has gone cold. You know when the tea's gone cold, or your coffee or whatever you're into drinking, it's gone cold, it does not taste the same. We are in winter, you want it to be nice and warm, but maybe yours has grown cold. I'm not going to give much details, but if your tea has grown cold, June 16 at as we call it, at the grounds, Soweto, you will see the address. Come and join us, because this event is going to help those of you whose tea has gone cold, those of you who have completely lost hope in your dreams or in a vision you one day had in your life. This is going to be the event. I promise you, you don't want to miss it. So the invitation is for all generations, as a matter of fact, not only for Gen Zs or Millennials, all the generations. Those of you who are parents and you would like to understand how we work with the teenagers, with the youth, in order for their minds to be transformed, come and join us. Across Mzansi, it's going to be taking place, but the main event will take place at Soweto at the grounds. Come and join us. June 16 starts 11 o'clock.
Thank you, PJ. Looking forward to that day and giving our thanks for the participation, for the contribution, for bringing us to understand your mindset and helping us to understand the mindset of this young generation. Until next week, God bless you all. Talking more about the tea. Next week, we have a special on this tea. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The first step to healing is simply reaching out. If you or someone you know needs support, email woman-to-woman@uckg.org.za or call 0800 330 320. Our toll-free helpline offers confidential, non-judgmental support.